Hello, everybody. I'm Jackie K. Cooper here with,
Amber Howell.
and this is Tell All Tuesday. And my Lord, you have been to see another movie.
Can you believe it?
Blink twice.
Blink twice. And I think we have some differing opinions.
I wasn't that crazy about it.
You weren't, but I was.
But, all right, number one.
Okay.
Number one, what does the title of the movie mean?
Well, I think, they used that line in the movie. Did you hear that?
I don't remember that line in the movie.
At the very beginning, the main character, Frida,
who works as a waitress.
At this. Spoiler alert, turn this off if you haven't seen Blink Twice.
Yes.
Turn
it off.
What is Channing's name? Slater.
Slater.
Frida runs into Slater's therapist, and she says something like, "Blink twice if I'm in trouble," to the therapist.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Because I've always heard that, in situations they, blink twice if you've been abducted or that, whatever.
Yeah. So that came up in the very beginning of the movie, which obviously was foreshadowing to the rest of the movie.
Right. But I thought it took forever to get to
what was going on. Yes, I agree, but I think because I went into the movie knowing that I needed to be very diligent about picking up on clues and different themes in the movie, I was fully engulfed in the movie the whole time.
When it ended, you were okay with the way everything was reconciled?
No.
Okay.
I did not like how it ended. No.
Okay, because I didn't either.
No.
It didn't clarify.
No.
And do you know? You probably didn't see it, but the Naomi Ackley
is that
is
the
the name
girl?
of the actress who
Frida.
She was in the Whitney Houston movie.
Did she play Whitney Houston?
She played Whitney Houston.
Did she really?
Yes.
I
Want to Dance with Somebody, I think it was called.
Yeah, I saw that movie.
Yeah, and you saw it.
I did.
But I didn't relate at all to this.
No.
And then it had Haley Joel Osment in it from The Sixth Sense, little boy who saw dead people. It had Christian Slater. It had Kyle gosh, what is his name? He was a psychiatrist. But it had all these actors. Gina Davis played his sister, the older woman who had the pills.
Who had the red bags?
Yes.
I thought that was his assistant.
Somehow I thought it was his sister, but
I thought they were related too. At first I thought it was his mother, Slater's mother, but it wasn't. Okay, I want to say something about all those people. Okay.
Say something.
So I'm the type of person that goes home and watches YouTube videos that analyze twisty movies.
Oh, so you go home and
I do my homework.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I saw a really good theory that somebody put out on the internet that they used all of these well-known actors who usually play the protagonist that people really, really love, and they use these well-known people as awful people in this movie, making it seem as though
each one has maybe 10 minutes of screen time.
Yeah, like you don't see much of the men. Looking back, you don't. But I think it's supposed to be kind of like an analogy for even the best of people can do awful things behind closed doors. That was the takeaway that person gave on the internet.
You had that much talent, and let me say this. I'll finish that other thought later. There were scenes in that movie that I thought Channing Tatum was so good. I really did. When what was it at the end? He said, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry."
That made me feel so disturbed. Did you feel
that way? I thought he did such a good job with that because I thought he's just gone right smack out of his mind.
Yeah, that actually he felt crazy in that moment.
Yes.
And it made me I was like, when is he going to stop?
And I kept, this is just me, but I kept thinking, when he got through with that, did they say, okay, now let's try it with a little more emphasis?
Like, how many times did he
How
have
did he
to
have
do
to do it?
that?
Because that was like the most intense part of the movie to me.
I agree. That climax stood out the most to me.
But also, the main character, Frida, goes with her friend, and there are these...
to this island.
To an island.
Slater's Island.
Slater's Island. And there are these other women there. I never could distinguish between the other women.
You mean like...
Personality-wise, it was like...
Yeah, none of them really stood out.
And was that intentional?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because they dressed them all alike.
Yeah. Maybe they did that so it was like they were nothing. They were just objects that were just there.
They were just all lined up in a row, yeah.
I have a question because you mentioned Frida's friend. So my first question when I left the theater was, seriously, spoiler alert, turn this off. Frida had been to the island before but didn't remember it, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I need to know if her friend that went to the island with her also went to the island the first time and forgot about it, or if the friend didn't go to the island, that friend would have remembered that Frida went to the island. So there's an unanswered question
another
there.
Unanswered
she
question.
wouldn't have because she would have wondered where her roommate went if she was gone to this island the first time. Do you get what I'm saying?
Okay, I've got another question.
Okay.
And I don't want to be tactless or stupid, but was her friend heavily freckled?
Yeah, I think
Was
so.
that what it was? Because it was outstanding to me.
I think she was.
I didn't know if it was kind of her skin complexion or
if it was freckles. I think it was freckles.
Okay.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I did.
But
do you understand my question?
Yeah, and I agree. Answered. She would have known.
And she would have
if they
told
were
her
friends
friend.
back then. Maybe they weren't friends then.
Maybe they weren't roommates or friends.
I don't know how long it had been from the first time she went to the island.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
And then the one woman had been on like Survivor. And I thought, well, if she could survive Survivor, she would have some skills.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like she used them.
No, they never like showcased any of those skills.
No.
With her.
And when one person is being beaten up and the other person's just sitting there going, I'm thinking, get up and go over there and help her, because there's two of you and one of them.
Yeah. I think I have another. This is unrelated to what you just said, but I thought, and I read this online too, the sound design on this movie was impeccable to me. The crackling of Slater's vape, do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
That was so outstanding to me. Like, that was very intentional by Zoe Kravitz. I saw an interview where she talked about that.
Channing Tatum's fiance. And what's her name? Lenny Kravitz. And this was her directorial debut.
Yeah. And
it had a glossy, good look to it.
Yeah, like the visuals were great. The sound was great to me. I thought the story was great. There were a few unanswered questions that I had, and I didn't like how it wrapped up. I thought that, so at the end of the movie, Frida makes Channing Tatum's character Slater forget everything, and she is now in charge of his business.
How did she do that?
Because they're married. They got married. Because she kept erasing his memory. That's the thing that I don't understand and I don't like. And I also don't like how she is now conniving. Like, I would have let him die in the fire.
Yeah.
That's what he deserved. She should not stoop to the level of controlling him. That's not the point of equality, in my opinion. I think that she should have just let him die in the fire.
I don't know. It was kind of... Did you ever see a movie called Stepford Wives?
No.
Okay. It's where this young couple moves he gets a job with this company. And all the women stay at home. None of them have outside jobs. They're all beautiful, etc. Except when they assert that they have a brain in their head, the husbands don't like it. So they end up making these robots that look exactly like their wives.
Okay. And how old is this movie?
It's been made twice.
Okay.
The original one was Catherine Ross from The Graduate, famous movie. And the second was Nicole Kidman. But in it, I don't remember, in the first one, the end of the movie, all the wives are robots. And they've been disposed of.
All of these movies that we're talking about now, Blink Twice, a little bit, what's the movie you just said?
Stepford Wives.
Stepford Wives. All of these feel like a version of Don't Worry, Darling. Do you remember that movie?
Yes.
Yeah. I love movies like this. I love that we're exploring this type of, I mean, I'm sure it's not a new thing. I'm probably just seeing movies for the first time, but I love that theme. I think it's so interesting.
Okay, I'm gonna jump from one subject to another real quickly. You are my expert on all things
pop culture.
Pop culture. What is this with Jason Kelce? Is that his name?
Yeah.
And Taylor Swift and some breakup contract.
Oh, Travis Kelce. Jason is the brother.
Jason's brother.
Right.
Okay, explain that to me, because the thing I saw, Jason Kelce was weighing in on it.
Apparently, I'm going to be honest, I haven't read much into it, but apparently...
Is it all fiction?
It's all fake. Like, somebody forged these documents that showed that Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift were to break up by this point in time, et cetera, and it has all just come out to be false.
That's crazy. Why would somebody just make that up?
Publicity, because there's always been theories that people date for publicity, So they're thinking that Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift are dating to enhance each other's careers.
Like Taylor Swift needs Travis Kelce?
Exactly. That's exactly.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But suddenly I couldn't go online to Twitter, Facebook, anything without that being the number one story.
Yeah. I didn't read much on it.
Well, just as an afterthought, is she still touring?
Yeah, she's on a break.
Scare?
She's on a break right now.
What about the terrorist scare?
Planned break. She canceled those shows, but the very next week she was in London. She performed those shows.
And no problems, no hitches.
No problems. She's on a planned break right now, and then she starts her tour back in October, I think in Florida.
Okay.
Coming back to the U.S.
Well, he's going to be starting football season. When does she make it any of the games?
Apparently, she's going to the game this week. Apparently.
She call you, take?
She called me up and let me know. I've heard rumors that she'll be at the game this weekend.
All right, we're going to keep you all informed about the latest that's going on. Like I can relate, sure. And congratulations on seeing another movie.
Thank you. I'm doing my best. Yeah. I've done really well this year. I've seen more movies this year than ever.
That's the way to go.
That's the way to go. It's because of you, Jackie.
All right, I'm Jackie K. Cooper here with
Amber Howell.
And this has been Tell All Tuesday.